In a world where fame masks the darkest of secrets, one man's empire is on the verge of collapse. 50 Cent exposes Diddy for pimping out his adopted daughter to industry men. The headlines are everywhere, but what's the real story behind these explosive allegations? Today we're diving deep into the scandal that's rocking the entertainment world to its core. If you've ever wondered about the shadows lurking behind the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, this is one video you can't afford to miss. Subscribe now and hit that notification bell because what I'm about to reveal will forever change how you view the music industry's elite. This isn't just gossip. It's a story of power exploitation and the brave few willing to speak truth to power. The allegations against Sean Diddy Combs have sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry. If these accusations hold any weight, we're looking at potential life imprisonment for one of music's most influential figures. This isn't just another celebrity scandal, it's potentially one of the most significant cases of exploitation in entertainment history. As we unpack this story, remember that these allegations, while shocking, are still making their way through the legal system. What we know for certain is that multiple individuals have come forward with similar stories, painting a disturbing picture of abuse and manipulation spanning decades. Since rising to fame in the 1990s, Diddy has been dogged by rumors of aggressive behavior and intimidation tactics. Former associates describe a man obsessed with control, willing to go to extreme lengths to maintain his position of power. While many of these stories were dismissed as industry gossip, the current allegations suggest a pattern of behavior that may have been hiding in plain sight for years. The control, the manipulation, the alleged violence, these weren't isolated incidents but rather consistent behaviors that defined his interactions with those in his orbit. Perhaps most disturbing is the case involving Ava Baroni Combs, the young woman Diddy introduced as his adopted daughter in 2020. According to reports, Ava had allegedly been missing before suddenly appearing in Diddy's inner circle. While Diddy presented this as a heartwarming story of taking in someone less fortunate, mounting evidence suggests a much darker reality. Sources claim that Ava was brought into Diddy's life not out of compassion, but as part of his alleged trafficking operation. If true, this would represent an unprecedented level of exploitation, using the guise of family to mask sinister intentions. Diddy is accused of using his influence to coerce young women into compromising situations with powerful industry figures. These arrangements allegedly took place at his infamous parties, events long whispered about in entertainment circles but protected by a culture of silence. As 50 Cent's docuseries prepares to expose these gatherings, insiders are bracing for revelations that could implicate dozens of high-profile celebrities and executives who attended and potentially participated in these exploitative scenarios. What makes these accusations particularly troubling is their systematic nature. According to court documents, Diddy didn't act alone. His enterprise allegedly included a network of enablers, individuals responsible for identifying potential victims, arranging transportation, and ensuring discretion. This level of organization suggests not isolated incidents, but a calculated operation that potentially exploited countless young people over many years. For an industry still recovering from the #Me Too movement, these allegations represent a damning indictment of the systems that allow powerful figures to act with impunity. 50 Cent has emerged as an unlikely champion of justice in this case. Long known for his feuds with Diddy, 50 has taken his criticism to another level with his upcoming Netflix docuseries. Through extensive interviews with alleged victims and industry insiders, 50 Cent's project aims to expose not just Diddy's behavior but the culture that enabled it. While some question 50's motivations, his decision to use his platform to amplify these stories has undeniably brought attention to issues that might otherwise have remained in the shadows. The infamous freak-off parties are central to understanding the allegations against Diddy. These gatherings allegedly served as settings for much of the exploitation. According to multiple sources, These weren't simply lavish celebrity parties, but orchestrated events designed to compromise and control attendees. Drugs were allegedly freely distributed, and attendees often found themselves in vulnerable positions, sometimes being recorded without consent. These recordings were later reportedly used as leverage against those who might consider speaking out. Most disturbing are claims that minors were present, some brought by parents hoping to advance their children's careers, others allegedly lured under false pretenses. Perhaps most shocking are the allegations involving Diddy's own family. Both Justin and Christian Combs have been named in lawsuits connected to their father's actions. Justin faces accusations regarding his involvement in covering up a shooting, while Christian has been accused of sexual assault. These allegations raise difficult questions about the environment in which Diddy's sons were raised. Were they victims of a toxic upbringing, or willing participants in their father's alleged crimes? As legal proceedings unfold, the involvement of Diddy's sons adds another layer of complexity to an already tangled narrative. Diddy's relationships with women have long been a subject of public fascination, but recent allegations cast these connections in a disturbing new light. His decade-long relationship with singer Cassie Ventura has become particularly relevant, as she has come forward with accusations of physical and emotional abuse. According to Cassie, what the public saw as a glamorous power couple was behind closed doors, a relationship defined by control, intimidation and violence. Hotel surveillance footage appearing to show Diddy physically assaulting Cassie has corroborated aspects of her account, lending credibility to her claims, and raising questions about how many other women might have similar stories. The silence from many of Diddy's celebrity friends speaks volumes. While some have issued carefully worded statements expressing shock, most have remained conspicuously quiet. This silence represents the entertainment industry's long-standing practice of protecting its own, even in the face of serious accusations. The few who have spoken out have faced backlash, highlighting the professional risks of challenging powerful figures. As pressure mounts and more victims come forward, this wall of silence is beginning to crack. The question remains: how many knew of Diddy's alleged behavior and chose to say nothing? Social media has played a crucial role in bringing these allegations to light. Platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok have given victims and whistleblowers direct access to the public, bypassing traditional media gatekeepers who might have been reluctant to challenge someone of Diddy's stature. Hashtags like #ExposeDiddy have trended worldwide, creating spaces for victims to share their stories and for the public to express outrage. This digital groundswell has put unprecedented pressure on both the legal system and the entertainment industry to take these allegations seriously. As Diddy's trial approaches, the stakes couldn't be higher. He faces multiple federal charges, including sex trafficking, racketeering, and transportation for prostitution. If convicted on all counts, he could spend the rest of his life in prison. Beyond the legal consequences, the court of public opinion has already begun to deliver its verdict. Brands have distanced themselves, radio stations have pulled his music, and his legacy is being re-evaluated in real time. For a man who built an empire on his image as a visionary entrepreneur, these allegations threaten not just his freedom but the very foundation of his identity. The impact of this case extends far beyond Diddy himself. The entertainment industry is facing a moment of reckoning, forced to confront the systems that have long protected powerful abusers. From executives who allegedly knew of Diddy's behavior but did nothing, to the culture of silence that discouraged victims from coming forward, the industry's complicity is under scrutiny like never before. Some insiders have expressed hope that this case might represent a turning point, a moment when the power dynamics that have defined Hollywood for generations finally begin to shift in favor of greater accountability. What makes this case particularly significant is the alleged exploitation of Ava Baroni Combs under the guise of adoption. If these allegations are proven true, they represent a heinous form of betrayal, using the concept of family as cover for exploitation. According to court documents, Ava was allegedly groomed and prepared for introduction to industry figures, with Diddy positioning himself as both protector and exploiter. This dual role allowed him to maintain control while presenting a benevolent public image. Investigators are reportedly uncovering evidence suggesting that Ava's situation may not have been unique, that other young people may have been brought into Diddy's orbit under similar pretenses. The upcoming trial promises to be one of the most closely watched legal proceedings in entertainment history. With Cassie Ventura expected to testify alongside other alleged victims, the evidence presented could shatter the carefully constructed image Diddy has maintained for decades. Legal experts suggest that prosecutors have built a formidable case, combining witness testimony with physical evidence, financial records, and electronic communications. While Diddy's legal team has vowed to fight the charges vigorously, many observers believe the sheer volume of evidence and testimony will be difficult to overcome. The question of whether justice will be served remains open. The American legal system, particularly when dealing with wealthy and influential defendants, has a mixed record. Diddy's resources allow him to assemble a team of the country's top lawyers and specialists, advantages not available to the average defendant. At the same time, the public nature of this case places unique pressure on prosecutors to secure a conviction. For the alleged victims, many of whom have waited years to tell their stories, the trial represents their best hope for accountability and closure. If Diddy is convicted, the implications for his empire would be devastating. His business holdings, spanning music, fashion, media, and alcohol, would likely face massive devaluation or collapse entirely. Associates and partners would distance themselves, unwilling to maintain connections to a convicted sex trafficker. Beyond the financial impact, his cultural legacy would be forever tarnished. Albums that once represented the sound of a generation would be recontextualized as the work of a predator. For an industry built on image and perception, such a fall from grace would be unprecedented. The allegations against Diddy have forced a broader conversation about power and accountability in the entertainment industry. For decades, the industry has operated with an unspoken hierarchy. Those at the top enjoyed protections that insulated them from consequences for their actions. This case suggests that this old order may finally be changing, that no one, regardless of wealth or influence, is entirely beyond the reach of justice. As more victims across the industry find the courage to come forward with their own stories, there's potential for a fundamental restructuring of how power operates in Hollywood. As we wait for the trial to begin, it's worth considering what this case means for the future of the entertainment industry. Will it represent a turning point, a moment when the culture of silence finally gives way to one of accountability and transparency? Or will it be treated as an isolated incident, allowing the underlying systems to remain intact? The answer depends largely on how the industry responds in the coming months and years. Real change will require more than just condemning one individual. It will necessitate a thorough examination of the structures that allowed that individual to allegedly operate with impunity for so long. For the alleged victims, this case represents something more immediate and personal, an opportunity for their voices to finally be heard. Many have lived with their experiences in silence for years, convinced that speaking out would bring only disbelief and professional ruin. The courage it takes to challenge someone of Diddy's stature cannot be overstated. Whatever the outcome of the trial, these individuals have already achieved something significant by bringing these allegations into the light and forcing a public reckoning with issues long swept under the rug. If you've made it to the end of this video, you understand why this story matters, not just for the individuals directly involved, but for what it reveals about the systems that shape our culture. This kind of investigative content takes time and resources to produce, and your support makes it possible. Hit that subscribe button now, and join our community dedicated to uncovering the truth, no matter how uncomfortable. Share this video with anyone who needs to understand what's really happening behind the scenes in the entertainment industry. And drop a comment below with your thoughts. I read every single one. Remember, the conversation doesn't end when this video does. it's just beginning. Together we can build an entertainment industry where talent and hard work determine success, not exploitation and abuse. I'll see you in the next video where we'll continue shining light on the stories others won't tell.